Hey guys, it's Allison. So today's video is going to be a life update. I know I have not made a video in 8 months and that is super duper crazy. I wish I continued on making videos, but I low-key did not have any ideas, and that's like the basic thing that people be always saying, like that we didn't have any ideas and stuff like that. But I literally had such a big list during the summer and everything. If you guys know, I work in a school, so then I started working in the school again in September. So I did end my videos in August. I did not have that much time, and like my everyday kind of work schedule is kind of different, but then also the same at the same time. So like, I don't know, I just didn't want to film because it's like the kids' privacy and stuff like that, and the school's privacy. So I didn't film all of that. So I have not filmed in 8 months. But also, I do have a big life update, so I'm going to let you guys know and give you guys a whole big shebang of a whole big story about everything. So, I was pregnant, I gave birth, and now the baby's here. You guys can see the bassnets right here and her foxes right there. But I just fed her, so she's laying here, so hopefully she'll be fine. But maybe I'm going to have to stop throughout the video, but yeah, so I'm gonna tell you guys how I found that I was pregnant, my pregnancy cravings, my symptoms, my labor and delivery story, everything like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up if you like it, comment down below any videos you want to see next, subscribe down below if you're new to my channel, turn on post notifications to get an update every time I post a new video. Unless I start. How I found that I was pregnant. So the backstory is I went to the Brandon Lake and Phil Wickham concert, and I do have that video up, so I'm gonna link that up below. And at one point, Brandon Lake, he started talking about infertility and stuff like that, and it was weird because I don't know, but low-key in that moment I felt like a connection, some kind of spiritual thing between like when he said that and like myself. Backstory on me: freshman year of college I went on birth control, and I was on birth control for about 2-3 years, and I kind of stopped when around COVID time because I did not want to take birth control for the rest of my life. I did take birth control because I did have irregular periods. I stopped it, and then I started to have regular periods again. But then low-key, I was like, I don't think I would get pregnant that easily or anything like that. And like, I thought it would be hard for me. I don't know. It was just like how my period went, and I thought I wouldn't be able to have kids. I don't know. That was just my mindset for some reason. So when he was like, I'm gonna heal every infertility in the room, I kind of was like, ooh, like I felt some kind of way. That happened, and then at the end of August, me and my boyfriend, well, now he's my fiance, I'm gonna just jump into that as well throughout the story. We went to the beach with his friends, and I don't know what like got him to ask, but he was just like, did you get your period? And I was like, no, actually I did, and I actually missed the day. But then I didn't think nothing of it. Like I was just like, like maybe my periods are irregular again. I don't know. Maybe you should take a pregnancy test. And I was like, really? Like I was kind of scared to take it, and I was like, ooh, I don't know. That day was funny because literally was carrying him on my back, and I was probably like 2-3 weeks pregnant at the time. Obviously she was just a little bean, so nothing affected that, but I was literally carrying him on my back. It was like a couples game. The girls were carrying their boyfriends and see who could get to like the end the quickest and stuff like that. After we went to the beach, I think we left the beach early because we were like, it was getting dark, and we're like, let's low-key leave so then we could go get the pregnancy test and everything like that. So we went to go pick it up. I came to his house. I went to use the bathroom, forgot to do the pregnancy test. So then I was like, yeah, then I'm gonna have to bring this home and take it by myself. And I was like, ooh. And then I was nervous to take it by myself, so I like, every time he would text me, he would be like, did you take it? And then I would be like, no, I haven't. I took the test. It was a digital one. I had the two, the one that came with the two, the digital and the one that has lines. So the first one I took was a digital one, and that junk came back so quick, and it said pregnant, and I was like shooketh. Like I was shocked, not shocked. Like it was like a weird moment. I didn't cry or anything like that. I was shaking though. And sorry, they're like cleaning out there or something like that. I was like, oh my goodness, like this can't be real. Like, so I had to digest that for myself, by myself. And what happened, baby? Before I went to go see him, I took the other test, which is the one with the lines, and that junk came back so quick again. Like they tell you to wait like a certain amount of minutes, and that junk came back within less than a minute. And yeah, so then I was like, oh my goodness, this is real. So then I took the pregnancy test with me, and then we went out to eat that day. He was like, so did you take that pregnancy test? And I was like, yeah, I did. And he was like, oh, so then it came back negative, right? And he said something like that. And then I was like, no, it was positive. And he was like, it's like, what are we gonna do? And I was like, well, we're gonna have to take it day by day because she's here, you know, it happened, and we're just gonna have to take responsibility, you know. Also told my mom the same day because I did not know how to keep that a secret from her because I was gonna have to go to the doctor's appointments. So how was I gonna do that without missing work and stuff, and her seeing a bill and like all this other stuff? So I was just like, I need to tell her. So when I told her, I was like, oh yeah, I missed my period. And then she was like, did you do something you were not supposed to be doing? I was like, and then she was like, well, maybe wait another month, maybe you just missed it, like blah blah. And I was like, what if I took the pregnancy test? And she was like, huh? And then I showed her the pregnancy test, and she was like, but she has been supportive since the beginning. She is happy that she has a grandbaby. She's the first grandbaby on both sides, so she's gonna be a spoiled one. I wanted to go to the doctor's like right away to the OBGYN, but I couldn't. So they gave me an appointment for like a week or two later. And so by the time I did go, I was 9 weeks in the ultrasound, and she was a tiny little bean and so cute. And I was like, wow, this is real. Like, honestly, I was like, until I see that ultrasound, I'm not gonna believe that it's true kind of thing. So like when I saw that ultrasound, I was like, wow, I'm growing that in me. Like, that is crazy. And by the way, guys, like, this pregnancy was the easiest pregnancy. Like, I thank God for that, and like thank her. Like, she was just a chill baby. I did not have any symptoms, so that's why I didn't know. And like, I was kind of denying the fact that I was pregnant because I was like, I don't have any morning sickness, I don't have bad food aversions and stuff like that. So it was just a strange thing. Literally, my symptoms throughout my pregnancy was just always tired. At the end of it, I felt drained. I was always hungry, so I ate 4 to 5 meals a day. I always had to use the bathroom, obviously. That's like a given. And then I had like a lot of discharge, and like I didn't have that much symptoms actually. I'm just gonna write them on the screen if I missed anything. And then with my cravings, I didn't really have any weird cravings. I thought I was gonna have weird cravings, honestly, because a lot of people have weird cravings, but I had normal cravings. I had like chocolate craving, carbs, a lot of carbs, butter and jelly, ice chips, soda, especially like bubbles. Like soda and chocolate was not really my thing, and then it became my thing. Also, I just broke it out loud when I was pregnant with her. So as you guys see, like my face is kind of healing and everything from that. By the way, I'm 3 weeks, almost 3 weeks postpartum. She's been a chill baby. She just cries when she needs her diaper changed and when she's hungry. But we've been sleeping through the night pretty good. We get like a good 5 hours on a good day, you know. Let's keep going with my pregnancy. So I did not start showing till I was about 24 weeks. I thought I started showing honestly at 20 weeks, but when I look back on the video, I'm like, wow, no, it was actually 24 weeks. Nobody at work knew. I didn't really tell nobody because I was like, how am I gonna tell somebody like I'm pregnant? Like, I'm pregnant, like. So I just kept that to myself until they found out, until they asked me. The only person I told was one of my coworkers. She was like shooketh when I told her. She was like, are you serious? Like when I showed her the picture of the ultrasound, she was like, wait, that's you? It was just so interesting. We had a gender reveal, and the only people that knew was my mom and his sister, so they can set up the little gender reveal that we had. We had a tic-tac-toe gender reveal, so it was pretty simple. We had like about 30 people show up, and the closest people to us, basically. When we found out it was a girl, we're like shook it. We're like, because we both thought it was a boy, but we wouldn't trade her for the world. She's the cutest, adorable little thing ever. She already has a person. You really farted on my video. Thank you. She already has a personality, and she already is a drama queen. And then our moms had like the little poppers with the smoke and the little confetti while we were turning the tic-tac-toe thing. And then after the gender reveal, like right after we found out it was a girl, my fiance, he literally he was like, oh, this is a perfect time to do this, or he said something like that, and then he like got down on one knee and then he proposed to me. He's like, will you marry me? And I was like, I was shook. I did not expect that to happen then, because I did say that I did not want to have it in front of people, but it was fine because we were having the gender reveal, so like it was 2 for 1, you know. And everyone's like, oh my goodness, they were still recording because like they just recorded the gender reveal, so then they were like, oh my goodness, and then they kept recording. They're like, this is actually happening, like what? Everybody was shocked. They were like, why is he down on one knee? Like, we're all shocked. And here's the ring. And I had to get my nails done, guys. I had to. After I gave birth, I was like, I really have to. I did not want to do anything crazy to my body, like do my nails with the UV light. I did not have sushi. I did not have anything. I was really careful with my pregnancy. I did not want any shots. Like, the only thing that I got was like a flu shot. But I did not want anything to happen to baby girl. We had the 21-week autonomy, well, the 20-week autonomy scan. I went at 21 weeks. Baby girl was doing fine. She was growing healthy. And it's crazy because after that moment, I was not able to see her. She was literally head down since like 24 weeks maybe. She was always hiding, and I finally got a 3D/4D photo of her at like 33 weeks. She finally showed her face, and she literally does the same exact faces now. Like, she was hiding her face, she was going like this and like that, but luckily I got a 3D photo of her, which was awesome. And then after that, she did not show her face until she came. Then we had our baby shower. It was everything that I hoped for. What I had in pictures like literally came true. Me and his mom, we got everything together, and then she had her friends, which was, luckily she had friends that was able to help her out and do all this stuff and made everything come true basically. And obviously I'm putting pictures and videos on the side when I'm talking to you guys, but it was so awesome. Baby girl was showered with love. A lot of people showed up. It was fun. It felt like it went by so quick. Like, I feel like it should be a whole day thing, because I feel like we're all over the place throughout like the 4 hours. Plenty of games, plenty of desserts. The food was a hit. Everything was a hit. We had a little photo booth, everything. It was awesome. So for the glucose test, I picked the orange flavor, and that junk was fine. It was like a flat orange soda. I don't know why everybody was saying that it was bad. I thought it was gonna be thick and sugary, but it really wasn't. I could have that over again. Like, I was like, oh, this is not that bad. And then I literally did not pass that junk. I literally didn't pass by like 2 or 3 points, or whatever you want to call it. So I had to go back in for the 3-hour glucose test, which was annoying. They literally took out blood 4 times. So the one in the beginning, then I drank the drink, and I had the fruit punch one at that time, and then I drank it. Then they took another blood test, waited an hour, took another blood test, waited an hour, took another. It was just a whole big thing. I was sitting in the office, in the room, just there, and I was like, I was about to fall asleep in there. Then I literally passed the glucose test, which luckily that happened, because I don't know what I would have done. I did not want anything, like I said, in my body that was unnecessary. Thank the Lord that I passed the test, you know. But by the way, guys, like, not gonna lie, the amount of blood they be taking throughout the whole pregnancy, if you guys are queasy with blood, get prepared, because they be taking out blood. Like, one day I was there and they were gonna take my blood. I think it was a glucose test day, and the lady literally, like, I don't even think the needle was even in her yet, or I don't even know, it probably just went in, and she passed out. Like, I felt so bad. I was like, oh my goodness. Like, and I was like, imagine if she was pregnant, like, imagine the amount of blood she has to be taken out. Like, it's crazy. So at 36 weeks, my OBGYN, she wanted me to get induction at 39 weeks. I knew baby girl was gonna come way sooner than that. And I was like, no, it's okay. Like, me and my fiance, we did not want anything like invasive. Wanted it to happen naturally, you know what I mean? I wanted to have a natural birth and everything like that. So we said no to the induction. And then baby girl came at 38 weeks and 6 days, which was awesome. She came the day before my ultrasound, appointment for 39 weeks. And we're gonna get into my labor and delivery story now. It was 5:15 in the morning. I woke up with 2 big gushes of water, like, psh, and I was like, oh shoot. I got up mad quick off my bed. I did not want to wet my bed that much because I was like, I don't know how that junk is gonna be clean. And I was like, I got up and then I walked to the hallway and I was calling my mom. I called it like 4 times. She was dead asleep. And then she finally woke up and then I was like, I think my water broke. And then she was like, oh my goodness. So she got up mad quick. I called my fiance. Luckily, he was at home still getting ready to go to work. He was like, okay, I'll be there. I'm gonna pack a bag and then I'll be there. So then we ended up eating mango con salami before I left to the hospital because I was like, I need to have a big meal before I head to that hospital, and they just gave me ice chips. So I ate, we chilled, and then we headed there because I just kept leaking. And BTW, you keep leaking until you give birth. So that was a misconception of mine. I thought like when your water broke, and then that's it, and then you had to go to the hospital. But like you were not leaking. But yeah, it's a thing. And by the way, I did go to take a shower to, you know, start my little labor. And yeah, oh, she's laughing right now. That's so funny. Then we headed to the hospital. It was around around 8 when I got there, and then they put me into the labor and delivery room. They're asking me all these questions and they were like, we're gonna have to check if your water actually broke. And I'm like, if my water actually broke? I'm literally gushing all over the place constantly, like, huh? And then I was like, okay, like whatever. And then at 9 they checked me. I was 3 centimeters and they were like, oh yeah, your water broke. I was like, yes. Like 3 centimeters, wow. Like without doing nothing else, 3 centimeters, thank you. Like, wow, you know. And then the doctor was already, it wasn't even my doctor, by the way. It was another OBGYN, and luckily I had met her the week before, but it was not my OBGYN because she was in a clinic at the time. So this OBGYN, she was like, yeah, we're gonna have to give you Pitocin so you could keep going with the contractions. And I was like, huh? I was like, oh yeah, no Pitocin for me. I was like, I want a natural birth, no medication, nothing. She's like, well, if you don't dilate more by the time I come back, we're just gonna have to talk about it again because we don't want it to go beyond 24 hours because your water broke and it could cause an infection. I was like, okay, yeah. Like at 1 o'clock when you come back after delivering the baby C-section, and you come back and I'm not dilated, maybe we could talk about it. But at this point, you're not gonna give that to me, you know? My fiance was a real trooper. Like, he got me up and going. Like, if he was not there, I would just be sitting on my booty on that hospital bed. But he got me active throughout the whole labor process. He got me walking. He got me on that birthing ball. He was swaying me back and forth. I was going in circles. He was massaging my back. He was making me do deep squats even though I did not want to. And TMI, if you want to know what a contraction feels like, it's like if you need to go poops really badly and it's not happening, you know. So every time the contraction happened, I was like, I need to use the bathroom. He was like, are you sure? And I was like, no, but I really need to use the bathroom. Also, at one point, I did use the peanut ball. That peanut ball worked, but it hurt. The contractions were crazy, let me tell you. And the nurses did not really come in that often, besides this one nurse that kept coming in because she had to keep fixing my fetal monitor. It was like the one that I could walk around in, and it kept moving, so they couldn't hear the baby's heart rate. So they had to keep moving it, keep finding the baby's heart rate because the junk kept moving. By the time 1 o'clock came around, I was 6 centimeters dilated. I was like, yes, I progressed, thank you. And then at one point, one of the nurses, she comes in and she's like, let me know when you want to start pushing. You're gonna want to poop even when a contraction doesn't hit. And then I was like, okay, like, because I was like, when do you know that you need a push, honestly? 4 p.m. came around. It was like 4-ish, almost 5. I was like, go get the doctor, go get the nurses. I am ready to push. Baby girl is coming. Like, I can't hold it no more. Go get them. So my fiance went out. He was like, I think she's ready. She's ready. So they came. She came in and she checked me. She was like, let me feel, and there's no cervix anymore. And she's like, oh yeah, you're 10 centimeters dilated. Get ready to push. So then they spread my legs wide open on the little spreader thing. And then all the nurses came in, the doctor came in, and they were like, okay, so when a contraction hits, push. I was like, okay. So I would push. They counted all the way up to 10, and I was literally losing oxygen like at 4 or 5. I could make it maybe up to 7, but I couldn't make it up to 10. So they had to give me oxygen whenever I was not pushing. I would take in that oxygen so I wouldn't lose my breath. And then they were like, oh my gosh, that was a nice push. You got to do that again. I felt baby girl squirming in there, and I was like, oh my goodness, that is the craziest thing. And then they were like, keep going, keep going. And then I was like, oh, I was squeezing, and she did not hurt when she came out. She just slid right out. But the thing that hurt was the doctor and the nurse's hands like assisting, and that junk hurt. I don't know what was poking me, but that was not it. So then baby girl came out, and I was like, my goodness, her rolls, and she was so cute. And then I was like, oh my goodness. So by the way, it was my fiance and my mom. They were there supporting me, and they had to stitch me only a little bit on both ends. I teared just a little because obviously them assistant probably did something. But other than that, no tears at all, which I was lucky for. By the way, I did do dates. I did do the raspberry leaf tea. I did do pineapple. I did do all that stuff. So I don't know if that helped or not. But I did do that. I was not very consistent, but I did do it. Well, then while they were stitching me up, I was doing skin to skin, breastfeeding her. She was doing good. And then they kept me in that labor and delivery room for like about 2 more hours, I can say. I don't know if they were waiting for me to use the bathroom because, you know, the first pee, the first poop, and like all that stuff. Then they finally transferred me over to postpartum unit. And by the way, they did the APGAR score, they did the weight, they did the height and everything in the room while I was watching. They did not take baby girl out for any reason. She's having her little active sleeps right now. I'm holding her. But then they transferred me over to the postpartum unit, and we all had bands, and baby girl had a band on her ankle where it was like a chip, where so when the babies go through the door, it starts ringing. So if someone's trying to steal your baby, like you would know, and you would know like someone's taking the baby out. So when we went into that postpartum unit, that junk rang so loud, and baby girl was sleeping. She was unfazed. And I was like, wow. And then we got to the postpartum room, and that junk was big. Compared to what I saw during the tour for the labor and delivery room and the postpartum unit, honestly, it was bigger. I don't know. It was just the room that I saw or whatever it was, but I had like such a big room for both sides. But the first room did not have a shower. Nurses and everything would come in like every 2 hours or something to take my blood pressure, to make sure I was fine. My temperature, check baby girl, and make sure I was latching and stuff like that. I mean, make sure that baby girl was latching. The nurses were really nice and sweet. They only took baby girl out for like some tests and her bath, but we saw her take her bath, her hearing test. Baby girl did good on the hearing test, the jaundice test, the heart rate test, everything. Thank the Lord. Before I forget, I gotta probably cut the clip or move it, but I was in labor, like pushing for only 30 to 35 minutes, which is a shocker. Like, I feel like people go on for way longer. Luckily, I didn't. I was like, we gotta get the baby girl out of me. But it only lasted 30 to 35 minutes. So she was born at 5:22. So I basically was in labor. My whole labor was 12 hours. Going back, she was born on a Wednesday, and then we left Friday afternoon. They were like, oh yeah, like she's ready to be discharged. Like Friday came around, and we were sitting there in the room like, so when are we gonna get discharged, you know? So then we did all the paperwork for baby girl and all that stuff. We were able to leave, and I was like, we're gonna take her home. Baby girl's doing good. And yeah, that was my story. I guess you guys are probably in shock or not, or you guys are probably just watching this because you were searching stories up. I don't know. But comment down below how your labor and delivery was, or like your pregnancy was. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, comment them down below, and I will certainly answer them if I know how to answer them. So comment down below any video ideas. If you guys are still here, comment down below a pink heart emoji. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy the video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.